How are you?
Fine, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency. To. You remind me of El Rufai. How are you? How are you doing?
Great, sir.
Please.
Your Excellency, with us today is Ibrahim Kachi Kasha.
What?
Kachi Kasha.
Kachi Kami?
Shah.
Who is Ibrahim Kachi Kasha?
I'm the one, Your Excellency.
To? Mikachi Mikasha.
Magic in Agama, Your Excellency.
You're welcome.
From People Priority newspaper. And to my far right is Kayode Ogun from Citizens Television.
Okay.
And also we have Mr. Moses, representative of Coalition of Nigerian Media Practitioner, and my humble self, Your Excellency, Mr. Francis.
Mr. What?
I represent today's news, sir.
Yeah, I told Mr. Francis, you call the surnames of the rest. You didn't call your surname. You are not detailed.
Your Excellency, Mr. Francis Gabriel, sir.
Where are you from?
I'm actually from the United States, sir.
I see.
So thank you for this opportunity. We'll be dwelling on security issues. We want to know, why is it taking this long for us to dislodge banditry and insecurity problems in Nigeria?
Why is it what?
Taking this long.
You see, there is, I think, a lot of challenges which Nigerians might not be aware that we've been facing in Nigeria. The issue of insecurity in Nigeria is something that I think has taken too long, and the same mistakes has been taking place time to time. But to be sincere with you, I think the security has a lot of role to play. Because take for instance from the recruitment process. This is something that has contributed a lot in the challenges we are facing currently. We have people in the post who are not willing to lay down their lives for Nigeria. During our time, it is the worst place where there is war. That is where we go. We don't care whether we come back alive or not. The primary aim is to save Nigeria and to save Nigerians. But now you call for a recruitment. That is where you have slots being shared to politicians, senators, governors, House of Reps members, and the rest. And then who do you think they will call? They are not going to call people who have the zeal of working for the interests of Nigeria. But of course, they will give it to people who have aided the election process, who have contributed a lot in their campaign, and the rest. So as a matter of fact, these are the kind of people we have in the post. 'yan alfarma. That is why you see a lot of them, they will send them to go and fight either bandits or insurgency. A lot of them ran away. You understand what I'm saying? Some of them are after the money. That is why they join the force, because they don't have job, so they are looking for a way to live, to earn a living. And so they join the force, and that is it. We have people who are in the force who will hardly make efforts towards regaining the integrity of Nigeria before the world. They don't care. You understand what I'm saying? And I want to assure Nigerians that that must stop. I've had words with the IG of police. I have told him we want to recruit police, but they have to be rigorously addressed. The recruitment process have to be, put in order. Make the security, provide them with enough equipment for the job. Then take a look at the welfare of the force. All these are contributing factors. I said it years ago that the day that the security agencies understand what enjoyment is all about, we are in trouble. And that is what is happening. A military man or a policeman is driving a luxurious car now. Is driving a car worth 15 million, 20 million. There is AC inside in the car. There is AC in his house. There is AC in the office. How can you now ask that kind of person that he should go to war and he will give his best when he knows the enjoyment he is having back home? I tell you, if you are the one, you will do the same. You understand what I'm saying? And we are not asking questions. How do they get this money? You are working, and they will tell you that they made investment. Why take an investment? You are here to serve Nigeria and Nigerians. You will ask them that, is it your salary that gave you all this investment, the cars, the house, and the rest? They will tell you they made investments, they are into business. To ka aje aikin ka koma business mana, retire and face your business.
Your Excellency, in the past administration, a lot of security agencies has been caught with corruption cases. Do you think the same is repeating itself in your own administration?
Well, I cannot be on national TV now and make that declaration. Of course, there should be an investigation if there is allegation. You can't just pass verdict on a mere allegation without investigation. So if there is anybody in the security agency that has corruption cases with him or with them, then bring it forward. The people who are in charge of that responsibility will carry it out. So the fact that it happened in the former administration does not mean it's happening now. I'm not saying it cannot, it could, but we're a country that is being governed by rule of law.
Excellency, the opposition party have accused your administration of being insensitive to the plight of Nigerians, especially in the area of insecurity, starting from the budget for defense.
You see, this is a problem with the opposition party. They turn everything to be politics. When we are supposed to face national building and what will move Nigeria forward, they divert it to politics. The issue of saying that this administration is, or probably myself in particular, that we are insensitive to the challenges of security in the country. One way I can say, being sensitive, the money that was provided to fight security and insurgency in what is it called, in Maiduguri, what happened to the money? They sat down and they shared the money. They shared it totally within themselves. So who is being insensitive here? I think the opposition should understand the line when to talk about politics and when to talk about national building.
Your Excellency, sir, to furthermore talk on the insensitivity, some Nigerians believe if it were to be your family members that were kidnapped, maybe your reaction would have been a bit more rapid than what we are having now.
You cannot be sure, except when you kidnap one of my member of family, then you see my reaction. So you cannot just sit down and say that one member of my family is being kidnapped, my reaction will be different from now. Maybe you try it. But the fact is, I look at Nigeria as my family. The way I treat my family, that is where I will treat anybody in Nigeria. You don't have to believe it. That is how it is. This is what I'm saying, and is between myself and my Creator. And that is the gospel truth. Whether you believe it, whether you don't believe it, but that is it. Nigeria, from my own perspective, I see it as my family. And I am providing the best I can offer. So, though sometimes there are things that I am being bound by law, I cannot do. I cannot exceed the jurisdiction that the Constitution has provided for me. You know? So, in a nutshell, my perspective is that every life in Nigeria counts, not only my family, anybody.
Are you satisfied with the disposition of state governors in providing security for their state? Or to what level has the Constitution allowed state governors to be key players in providing security in the state?
Oh, there is no level at all. The Constitution made it very clear that any state governor is the chief security of that state. So he is being charged by the Constitution to provide adequate security in that state. It's unfortunate that whatever happens, everybody blames the top, the federal government. But without collaboration and synergy between the federal government and the state government, we are going nowhere. Some governors feel is our responsibility, but it is, it should be a collective effort to fight this menace. You understand what I'm saying? I know governors who are trying to see that nothing happened to their people. You understand what I'm saying? For instance, take back home in Katsina State, I know the efforts the governor is making. Many people might not see it, but we have sat a lot of times to see the way out, the security challenges in Katsina State. But it is quite clear. Each time we sit, what he tells me is something that is obvious. They are really trying, and he is doing his best. You understand what I'm saying? He is doing his best, just that sometimes there are saboteurs. You are trying your best, and some people are sabotaging you, your efforts. But one thing I will say is that they should always remember this place is not our permanent place. Someday we'll go back to our Creator and we give account of whatever we have done.
A handicap as regards their role in directing, giving out directive to security agencies in their states, so they will have to look to the federal. Is it time to start thinking state police?
Well, state policing is good, but my problem with state policing is that I'm scared. My fear is that it might be abused someday. And people might use it for their own personal interests, for political reasons, or whatever. But state policing is a welcome idea. But this is my fear. The abuse. That's what I'm saying. The abuse is my major challenge in state policing. But it's a good idea that will provide people with security. And basically, to work with state policing, you have to recruit people in that vicinity. Because if you are a stranger coming to this place, you might not know the challenges. Back then, when something happens in a community and the case comes to the district head, they know which family to go and ask. They have suspects that when something like this happens, they will say, go to that house. If you go there, you will see somebody who should be responsible for whatever has happened. So it is a good idea, but my fear is that they might use it negatively, especially during elections.
Your Excellency, do you feel Honorable Aminu Bello Masari's style of fighting bandits in Katsina State should be applicable to other states?
Well, what is applicable here might not be applicable somewhere. So I cannot advise that it should be used somewhere. It might work for Katsina, it might not work for another state.
Yeah. When should we expect a visible result from what the government has been taking, the measures they have been taking in curbing this insecurity?
What do you mean visible result? Are you not a media person? Can't you see what happened in Borno State? Have you been there before? As a journalist, have you been in Borno?
Not yet, sir.
Then I will not answer your question. Go to Borno. Probably when you have an opportunity to have this interview, you can ask your question. When you say if there is any vivid result, it means as if we have not done anything. That is what you are saying. You should be informed, please.